Let's continue with the next topic of the chapter biomolecules, that is the cyclic structure of monosaccharides. So the monosaccharides gives characteristics reactions of alcohol and carbonyl group. Okay, alcohol and carbonyl group here. So it has been found that monosaccharides exist in the cyclic structure form. Okay, they exist in the cyclic structure form, and therefore they are showing this kind of behavior. So we know that aldehyde and ketones reacts with aldehydes and ketones reacts with hydroxyl group, okay, that is OH group, to form hemiacetals, to form hemiacetals and acetals. Okay, so the general reaction can be represented as the carbonyl group here when reacted with the alcohols, that is the hydroxyl group here, they will form hemiacetals or acetals. Okay, they will form here hemiacetals or acetals. So the acetals, hemiacetals will be having the structure C OH OR dash H. These are the hemiacetals, and on further reaction with more alcohol molecules, this compound will convert to acetals. These are acetals, and the structure of acetal is this. So they are the acetals. Monosaccharides contains number of OH groups here. Okay, we know that in monosaccharides, number of OH group are present. That is hydroxyl groups are present, and a single aldehyde or ketone group is there. So here it can undergo intramolecular reaction to form the hemiacetals, to form the hemiacetals, which results in the cyclic structure of monosaccharides. Cyclic structure of the monosaccharide. So now let's discuss about the cyclic structure of the glucose. Okay, the cyclic structure of glucose. They are termed as anomers. Okay, they are termed as anomers. So what is anomer? Glucose forms a hemiacetal between the aldehyde and the hydroxyl group. It forms the hemiacetal between the aldehyde group and the hydroxyl group of the fifth carbon atom and here the cyclization will take place between the first carbon atom and the fifth carbon atom. Okay, here the cyclization will take place and symmetric and newly formed OH group may be either on the left hand side or on the right hand side of the Fischer formula. This results in the formation of two isomers which differs. Okay, so as here the C5, okay, the C5 here the hydroxyl group can be present either on the right hand side or either on the left hand side. So here, due to the presence of hydroxyl group on the either on the right hand side or either on the left hand side, what will happen here? Here we will see that two different compounds, okay, two different compounds or two different isomers will be formed out here due to cyclization here, and that compounds for glucose, it will be named as alpha D glucose and beta D glucose. So these two isomers which is formed out here, they will be termed as the anomers of glucose. Okay, they will be termed as the anomers of glucose. Okay, so, the isomers having OH group on the right hand side is called alpha D glucose, and the isomers having OH group on left is called beta D glucose. Okay, so such such pairs of optical isomers. Okay, which kind of isomers they are? They are optical isomers. Such pairs of optical isomers which differ in the configuration only. In the configuration only around first carbon atom. Around first carbon atom are called anomers. They are termed as the anomers. Okay, so let's see and have the more here this carbon one will be termed as the anomeric carbon or glycosidic carbon. Okay, it will be termed as either anomeric carbon or the glycosidic carbon, which is forming the cyclic structure. So here the structure will be something like this: COH, H, COH, H, CH, OH, COH, H, and the final one here will be C, which is connected with the first carbon atom with the cyclic structure of oxygen here and containing H here, CH2OH. So this is the alpha D glucose. Alpha D glucose. So how this alpha D glucose has been formed? What is the open chain structure here? Here the open chain structure is like this. The CHO, In the fifth carbon, here is the OH. Okay, the OH. H 1, 2, 3, OH and H. Okay, fifth and sixth one CH2. So here what will happen? The double bond of this carbon atom will break, and what will happen here? This oxygen, okay, double bond of this carbon atom will break, and this hydrogen will get attached to this oxygen, and the lone pair of this oxygen atom will be donated here with this carbon atom. So due to this, the formation of the compound take place, and here we will see that the change will take place, and here CHOH, COH, H, CH, OH, COH, H, and the final, the fifth carbon atom, it is been attached here with the oxygen with the first carbon atom, and the last is the CH2OH. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is the fifth carbon atom which is been attached to the first carbon atom with a cyclic structure forming with O. So here you can see the difference. In the beta D glucose, the OH group in the first carbon atom is present in the left hand side, while in the alpha D glucose, the first carbon atom is containing the OH group in the right hand side. Okay, it is containing it in the right hand side. So this is the difference between the alpha D glucose and the beta D glucose. So this representation of the cyclic structure, it is termed as Fischer projection. Fischer projection. It is been termed as Fischer projection. Next is the Haworth projection or the Pyranose structure. Pyranose structure, also termed as Haworth projection. So the structure of anomers of glucose may be drawn in a simple six-membered ring. A simple six-membered ring called pyranose. Called pyranose. This resembles for the pyran. This resembles pyran, which is a six-membered heterocyclic ring. Heterocyclic ring containing 5 carbon atoms. 5 carbon atoms. This structure was suggested by Haworth, and hence it is known as Haworth projection also. Okay, therefore it is termed as Haworth projection also. So what is the structure here? So the Fischer projection for the alpha D glucose here is like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here the first carbon atom is been connected with the fifth carbon atom by an oxygen. OH H H sorry OH H H OH OH and H. Okay, so this is the structure for your alpha glucose. So it can be represented as in the Haworth projection C O C C then C C and C like this. And here the structure will be with the first C with the last C. Okay, the last C CH2OH is been joined with a H. So with a H. Similarly, the first C, this is the first carbon atom. Okay, this is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Okay, so first carbon atom, and this is the sixth carbon atom. So here the structure will be first carbon atom in first carbon atom. OH is there at the right hand side. So the right hand side term will be denoted in the bottom. Okay, and the left hand side will be denoted at the top. So like this, the structure will change out here. In the third carbon atom, OH is at the left hand side and H is at the right hand side. So therefore, OH is at top and H is at bottom. Similarly, at the fourth carbon atom, HOH, H, H at the top and OH at the bottom. So this is the pyranose structure. Okay, this is the pyranose structure. Similarly, for the 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So first carbon atom is connected with the fifth carbon atom with the oxygen HOH. This is the beta glucose. Okay, beta glucose. OH, H, and the last is CH2OH. So it can be represented in the Haworth projection as C connected with O with the first C, second C, third C, fourth C, fifth C, and this is the sixth, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and this is the sixth. So here one hydrogen is there, which is represented at bottom. Okay, oxygen. Then here we have to represent one first oxygen. So OH is at the top and H is at the bottom. Similarly here H, OH, OH, H, then H, OH. So this is the structure for beta D glucose, and the previous one is for the alpha D glucose. Beta D glucose and the alpha D glucose. Also we can call them as alpha D glucopyranose. Okay, alpha D glucopyranose, and it will be termed as beta D glucopyranose. Okay, so this is the structure for the alpha D glucose pyranose and the beta D glucose pyranose. So this was the Haworth projection for the glucose, and we have talked about all the properties for the glucose and completed the glucose particle. In the next class, I am going to start the fructose. Okay, we are going to study about the fructose there, and we will complete that particular topic there. So thank you for today for seeing this video, and in the next class we are going to start the fructose, and we are going to discuss about the structure of the fructose and how the Haworth projection for the fructose will be represented. And the next topic for this particular chapter, it will be the amino acids. Okay, it will be the amino acids. So thank you, we will meet in the next class.